CMPRadio.net, the voice of Chester.
What's going on, everybody, man? It's your boy, Uncle P, man. I just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors. That's Chester's Cultural Art and Technology Center. That's the CAT Center. KC Electrical Services. Kyle Davis, hit him up for all your electrical needs. MOOB, right? Mind our own businesses, man. Let's go, man. MO2B, Northern Marketing and Design. Pressure Inc., Boys and Girls Club of Chester, Pennsylvania. Paragon Charisma and Chester Community Charter School, man. Listen, they're sponsors. You too can be a sponsor. Hit us up at info, that's info, I-N-F-O, at cmpradio.net. Let's go.
Stuck on 76, 95, 476, 222. You get the picture. Anyway, jump on this train.
Is it me, or is stripping becoming like the AAA farm system for female rappers now? What with Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion and whatnot?
Come on.
I'm just kidding.
Yo, you are on a roll today.
Speaking of Megan Thee Stallion, did you hear about the interview she did recently with Gayle King?
No, I'm not watching it.
Oh, no? Oh, well, you're going to watch a snippet of it right now. Go ahead. We're detailing the incident with Tory Lanez.
So I get out the car, and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming. He said, "Dance, bitch." And he started shooting. And I'm just like, oh, my God. Like, he shot a couple of times.
And that's why he got arrested, though, because he violated the no contact order.
Then he shouldn't be out.
What, did he violate the...
He violated no contact order by Instagram.
Or no contact, No, talking about it. Yeah,
he can't talk about it, but she can.
Right, that's not fair. Yeah,
it doesn't sound right, right?
Yeah.
And that happened over how long ago?
What, last year?
Okay.
You think he's being railroaded?
I mean,
he is a black male.
It's time for the D train.
Show of hands. Who's ridden the train before?
Darren DeVoue.
All right. All aboard.
Hello and good morning. Welcome aboard the D Train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net. Train got a late start, so we're going to just keep it moving. I'm joined behind the glass for Uncle P in a very, very, very busy.
Very busy. Extremely busy.
She's touching stuff. She's walking. She's about to be running now everywhere. That's when they start that. D Train is brought to you in part by LeBron Construction for all your home reconstruction needs, renovations, etc. Check out our LeBron Construction. You can go to the CMP Radio YouTube or the cmpradio.net page and check out all our sponsors there. And aside from that, we're going to start with a story that's very, very personal to me. I'm talking, of course, about this couple in India that's being sued by their parents for not having grandkids. This disturbs me, and I don't like it at all. I'm going to jump on these folks' legal team. 61-year-old retired government officer Sanjeev Ranjan Prasad and his wife are suing their children, their son and their daughter-in-law, for 50 million rupees, which is 675,000 US. Prasad said he spent 3.5 million rupees, or 47,300, for his son's pilot training here in the U.S. Now, the main issue is that at this age, we need a grandchild, but these people have an attitude they don't think about us, said Prasad. This is 6 years into the marriage, by the way. Said Prasad went on, "We are not getting love and affection from where we want it most." He said, "I feel very unlucky." This needs to be addressed because, like I said, I will join these folks' legal team because can you think of the precedent that this will set. I mean, me as a childless person who has heard it numerous times, my grandmother would come from beyond the grave to join a lawsuit against me for not giving her a great grandbaby right now. So
I mean, you're keeping your legacy going. Like people are that selfish with their own personal lives that they don't do what they're supposed to do in any book that you follow. He says, go forth and multiply, not go forth, make more money, not go forth, have more girlfriends, not go forth and accumulate shit for you.
all right.
The reason you're here is to make more of you, more of your bloodline. You understand what I'm saying? And people be like, no, not me. I'm here selfish. I just want to enjoy my life and not have any responsibilities and not have to worry about nobody else. Well, then kill yourself. Because because if it ends at your name right now, if your name ends with your name, you might as well kill yourself. There's no reason for you to even be here because nobody will ever know you were here.
Right.
Literally.
I'm saying, well, see, you brought it up, though. Make more money. See, to do anything, whatever you're doing, someone's paying for it. So most species that live on this planet, like you said, reproduce, they go forth and create more numbers. But the problem with us as humans, we have the problem not only of the bigger, higher developed prefrontal lobe, but also money. So we have animals don't have a system of exchange like that. So I think that is one factor among many. You can't just limit it to that.
College,
why people
right?
don't have kids.
You went to college, right?
Also, yes.
What did you major in?
Here you go, communication.
You majored in communications.
Yeah.
Are you working a job in your field?
No,
Right. Why not?
because I'm working on it.
No.
Money. Well,
How long
debt.
ago, how long ago
Stuff
did you
like
graduate?
20-something years.
20-some years ago, right? Guess what? I don't have no degree in anything,
Right.
and I own a radio station.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you want to make an excuse, there are tons of excuses why this
I
couldn't
said the
be
reasons.
successful.
Now, see you.
That's an excuse. There is no reason for you
tomato,
not.
tomato.
No, there is no reason.
potato.
Most people, right? And this is what I'm saying about most people from the light side of the world, right? They don't believe in making children until they make enough money to provide for those children. But God said He will provide for you. In the absence of you seeing something, God will provide it for you. You just got to have that faith and step out on that step. But as long as you're looking to have $100,000 before you have a kid, you'll never have one. And you'll never have that $100,000.
I won't get either.
Because you're looking at it the wrong way.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, I would definitely sue my kids. I wish one of them would tell me no grandkids.
Hell.
Y'all your rabbit ass mouth. What I have you for then?
Anyway, speaking of extending lines through marriage and such. In our next story, did you hear about this? This was we don't have the video of it, but there was in South Africa at the checkout line at McDonald's. My man decided to propose to his girl, and you can see him. We do have the video? No. No, okay. So yeah, he gets down, gets on one knee, and then she has no idea what's going on. She's just talking to the girl behind the register, like blah, blah, blah. They got a shopping cart full of McDonald's, like literally a shopping cart. Well, 3/4 full, but still. She's talking to a girl at the register. She hears the crowd, oh! Turns around, sees my man down on one knee. And in his defense, though, you know, it might be a little hard to recognize the situation. He might be so anxious to get it over with. You know, it would just burn. You know, when they say money burns a hole in his pocket, Ring was probably burning a hole in his pocket, just wanted to get it over with. Needless to say, she looked at him. She worded a couple of things to him. You couldn't hear it on the video, but then she threw the last of the cheeseburgers in and walked off. Left him with his cart full of McDonald's. The crowd giving it to him after that. It was sad. Didn't go too well. But I'm saying, like, is that coercion or is it fake? Was what I was trying to figure out, because you know, whenever you propose to someone in a public space like that, the guy on the Fanavision, the dude at the bar, etc., you got to be pretty confident. I don't think that you're when you propose like that, you're putting her in a position, you know, like looking at the surface as an outside observer, sitting there watching. You know, I'm like, oh, ain't trying to put her on the spot, bro. I don't know. It's not going to work out, especially because if she says yes, she might just feel the need, and then she's just going to dump you later. Or, maybe, it could work out. But one time when I was waiting tables at McDonald's.
Yep, waiting tables at McDonald's. You're right.
And I was waiting tables at Fridays, and many moons ago, and this chick, she had us, because Fridays would do the happy birthday singer. So she makes the waitress get her a bunch of singers, brings all of us up, and then goes to propose to this guy. And you should have seen the look on his face, because he was like, he looked around, saw all of us, and the other table standing up, trying to get a look-see. And then he wailed something to her. She was up close to him. It was all quiet, too. An awkward silence after she said, will you marry me? And it was just like, she goes, he said yes. And then the whole crowd, yay! Me and my coworker looked at each other. He ain't say it. He said, we're going to talk when we get in the parking lot. That's what he said.
We got to talk about this a little bit.
Oh,
I don't know how it would feel if a woman would propose to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd be all right with it. That's pretty.
I bet you would.
Yeah.
Like you are absolutely that man that would be okay with that type shit.
Cool. Save me the pressure. You owe me a ring.
No. I would have to. We would have to have a conversation. Like, cause I don't. That's what a man is supposed to do. Again, in this new history of what we do and what we don't do,
right.
Women are capable of doing these things, but I'm not accepting that.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't.
He is a man, a manly man.
Yeah.
Speaking of manly man. You know about Chrisley? You ever see that show on USA? Chrisley Knows Best.
I believe he's gay.
Thank you. So, I mean, like, there are some effeminate southern dandy gentlemen, but, when I watched this show, I was like, looks like somebody's living a lie. And speaking of fraud in Chrisley, he and his wife are facing charges. An indictment was filed in February. They are looking at charges of tax evasion and bank fraud.
Yeah.
Yeah, they used a film production company they controlled to hide income to keep the IRS from collecting unpaid taxes. The wife faked bank and financial statements to financial institutions to get millions of dollars in loans, for which they used for their personal benefit.
Absolutely.
And that was from at least 2007 to 2011. Now, mind you, they started filming this show in like 2012.
Right.
And that was when I first saw it on channel surfing, and you see it on the TV, and you see them sitting around in this lavish setting. And that's what kills me nowadays about these shows. I'm like, so I'm watching it for 5 minutes, and I'm like, so
what do they do? Fake it till you make it.
Right.
Literally.
And that's precisely.
Fake it till you make it. We don't understand that.
Oh, my goodness.
Don't fake it to that level. Because that's an extreme level. But certain points, you can fake it till you make it.
Oh, and Julie Chrisley, the wife, she sent in a fake credit report and bank statements, and that was to rent a home, the indictment says. A few months after they began renting the home, in October 2014, they refused to pay rent. Money the Chrisleys received from their television show went to a company, the aforementioned company that they control, 7 Seas Productions, but they didn't declare it as income. So they making the money right there in front of the IRS, but not declaring the income. Peter Tarantino, their accountant, is also indicted as well. The Chrisley Knows Best series was just renewed by USA for a 10th season. 10th season. 10 years. And, there's more. There's a spinoff, Growing Up Chrisley, featuring Chrisley's kids chasing Savannah living in L.A., and that was just renewed for a 4th season on E! They recently announced that it's also moving forward with a new dating series, Love Limo, hosted by Todd Chrisley, days before the trial was set to begin.
You already signed those contracts. Y'all got to give me something.
Right, how about that?
Y'all got to give me something. Make it till you make it.
So shout out to them there, but holy smokes. So, and that reminds me of, because we were talking about fake famous last week, right? And man, you know how like it's a house of cards. You know, these fake bots, they make up this number that's generated, this number of followers and number of retweets and interactions determines your value on the internet. And they finished it off with a truly horrifying thing because you know, like he was talking about how influencing is. He was like, the whole purpose of it is to make you feel worse about your life. So you go out and buy this stuff to make you feel better. Then they ended it with a horrifying sequence of photos. And right after he said that a lot of times you hear from kids just want to grow up to do this. And when I was teaching, I'd you know, get a new student and whatnot, blah, blah, blah. So what are you trying to do when you grow up? I want to be famous. Okay, and like, just me. I just want to be famous. And I'm like, all right. So then we start the whole, what are you good at? What do you like discussion, et cetera, how you can make money off of that. But whoa, like, and they finished it off with a sequence of kids dressed in like looking all grown, looking like those little tiny tiara girls in them Texas pageants and whatnot.
Everybody want to be famous.
It was horrifying. Like it sent a chill down my spine. I can't tell.
The easy famous.
Yeah, right. Famous for, and that's the thing. Like there's no marketable talent being displayed. It's all based on these numbers.
What are you famous for? Oh, just being myself.
For having a bunch of followers.
Well, what do you do? Oh, I just go live and talk about what I ate and where I shopped today and wow.
Oh, and you get paid for that?
Yeah, good.
No,
I got sponsors and everything.
No fooling.
Yeah.
I'm doing it wrong. That's what I'm first.
Absolutely, you got to get them bots.
Oh my goodness. Actually, what I'm thinking, P, is the money is. Well, I'm thinking we need to talk about this, making the bots. Making the bots. Because there's always going to be people buying these things. You know, if we fake it with our own, if we fake it by buying bots.
How many computers do you think you would need for bots?
How much electricity would you hold?
Check this out, right? One time we were live and this guy had DM'd me, and I mean we had 157 people watching the live, right? And then the guy DM'd me. He said, "I made those bots. Holla at me later." And then all the bots that he made disappear. We had 7 people watching. And it was I said, oh shit. Like this is a real situation. But I never hollered at him because it's like, what's the purpose of that?
Right, because
something where you go live and a bunch of people are watching causes more people to watch.
Right.
You feel me? Like, so, you know, those 157 people, you feel me?
Oh, wait, 157 people are watching. There's got to be something going on.
What is he talking about? Right. You know, and if you have something interesting, a crowd will amass.
Right, right.
Me? And if you're talking about things that people need to do better, ain't nobody trying to tune in for that. Right. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I don't know. I'm thinking about it. Literally, I am. Like, you know.
Oh my goodness!
Do I want it like that? No, I need it grassroots. I need it from the ground up. I need to understand what I'm saying and what I'm giving to people. Right,
because then if you actual interactions with people, you'll develop a perspective, and develop perspective gives you credibility amongst your audience. Right. See, you thinking in real people terms. Yeah, but it's scary, man. Like speaking of social media and whatnot, like with brick and mortar companies, because I started to notice that like 10 years ago, like brick and mortar companies started to put a real investment into checking up what you said online, you know, whereas I think those are just, if you post something, that's just a digital fart in the wind. It's nothing really. But speaking of farts in the wind, let's talk about this retired Michigan eye doctor. His name's Kenneth Palan. And he took and wrote a noose and put it on a truck and along with a note that said, accessory to be worn with your Black Lives Matter t-shirt in July of 2020. He put it in the truck that was in the driveway of a mixed race couple. And so he's on trial for federal hate crimes. This is how you spend your retirement, though? Your retirement?
I've been a racist. I just haven't been able to give my time to the cause.
Right.
You feel me? Now that I'm retired, I'm full on. I can't stand you.
I've been spending all these years going, black people. Now he gets to just let himself loose on society.
He had to.
Been up in him. It's picked up.
Where was he working at before? What did he retire from?
He was an optometrist.
Oh, man, he was probably giving people bad.
Right. Blinding. See a black person. Oh, looks like you're going to be.
You look like you got cataracts.
Right.
Yeah, everything's great. Yeah.
Right.
Trying to figure out why they can't see out their new prescription.
Oh, while they hitting curbs all over the place and whatnot. I did have a story about that was following that Reuters had posted about cops, about police forces all over the nation being inundated with white supremacists. But then I skipped that because the key word in news is new. So that's not news.
Not new. Right. But sometimes it is. A different perspective on the news is news.
Okay. True. Right. True. How about that? Right, because these folks don't think about that. Because to me, as a black male, it's already pretty evident. Right. As soon as you interact with them, you're like, even the black ones sometimes, you're like, oh, okay. Yeah.
The black ones that went to Mansfield.
Oh, there we go. We're going to have a come to Jesus moment next show about that. Here we go. Oh, my goodness. But speaking of blaming it on the black guy, Melissa Riley she's a mother in Charlottesville, Virginia. And she was on Fox News recently. You've heard about CRT, or critical race theory.
Critical race theory, which I think is important for us to teach in our schools.
It's the country's history. You can't.
No. It's our history.
Right.
It's the things that have affected us.
Right.
And the way they have affected us that they don't want taught in these schools.
Right.
Right. No, don't talk about how we had them enslaved and how we brought them over here and how we made tons of money on them and we insured them and made more money off of them and they died and we killed them and we collect the insurance money. No, we're not going to talk about none of that. What we are going to talk about is how lazy you got.
Right.
And how much y'all love to hang around with drugs and guns and that we supplied those guns and drugs too.
Right.
By the way.
We did you a favor. We brought them all the way from South America just for you.
Just for you.
Oh, so she's suing. Get this. She signed on to a lawsuit filed by the Alliance Defending Freedom, a conservative legal group, and she's arguing that the school district's teaching of anti-racist program contravenes the state constitution's equal protection and free speech clauses. She was on Fox News. And she was telling Jesse Waters that her 13-year-old son has been refusing to do his chores, and this has been caused by CRT being taught at his school.
That's slavery, Mom. I'm not doing my chores. That's slavery.
The son is mixed race.
Right.
13-year-old.
And that's her son, so she got a husband that's black?
Right. Or a man, she had a kid by a black guy.
Wow, that's why she on it.
She said he's seeing himself just as a black man. Well, I mean, once he steps in society, so is society, darling.
When you're mixed with black, that's what you are.
I mean,
you're not white.
You have heard about the one drop rule.
Right.
That's it. Like, come on.
Right, come on.
She said these things, if he doesn't get his way, he just says racism.
Right.
I asked him to clean the house. He said racism.
Right. Well, I got to clean it. Why can't you clean it with me? You can't get down on your
hands. What you want me? You want me to sing some spirituals, Mom?
That kid's great. He got it.
The thing is, I don't think it's not being taught in schools, really, as a curriculum, as far as I know. She claimed that the school district said her son could serve as a black spokesman for the black community.
Ooh.
Oh, she said she's white and Native American. No, you're not. She 1 out of 2 ain't bad, darling. So she said she doesn't find such a suggestion appropriate for her son. He looks Hawaiian. He's beautiful, she said. The suit submitted in December was struck down by a judge who repeatedly found that there was nothing inherently evil or wrong about what the district was teaching, but that didn't stop them from proceeding on. They're going to appeal that decision. Oh, speaking of racism, did you hear about this past week? I've yet to encounter anything like this during my Uber adventures, but James Bode, a Lyft driver here in Pennsylvania, He had put up a Facebook post last Friday, and it went viral. He was outside of Cassaquah. He was outside of this bar, Fossil's Last Stand in Lehigh County. Jackie Hartford, who owns Fossils, she starts to get in the car. In the video, it just starts off like normal. Hey, hello. Uber, hey, lift for Jackie. She gets in. She goes, she's hammered, by the way. Oh, and she's the owner of Fossils. She gets in. She's like, are you a white guy? You're just a normal guy. You speak English? She must have got the impression that he wasn't because of his name and plus the music that was playing when he pulled up. There's a quick pause, and then she laughs, pats him on the shoulder. It's, I'm sorry, buddy. And then he says, yeah, you can get out. And by the way, her man is standing outside, and then he says, she starts to get out, and then her man yells in, F you, dude, you're an effing N lover. I said, oh, man. How can you be sure? I mean, how do you know that? He can hate niggas. All colors, niggas. Castasaqua Police Chief Douglas Tish confirmed.
Mississippi?
No, this is here in Pennsylvania, in Lehigh County. It's a Native American word, Castasaqua. Catastrophe. Yeah, me trying to pronounce it. Police Chief Douglas Tish confirmed Bogue made a police report at 10:27, and this again Friday before last. He said the incident remains under investigation, and the video's gotten 3.3 million views on YouTube. Wow. Fossil's Last Stand, again for which the woman Hartford is an owner. They deactivated their website and their Facebook page, and their Yelp and TripAdvisor was shut down for comments both on the bar's pages that were flooded with negative reviews and 1-star ratings after the video broke out. Wow! And in fact, they were closed when the news came by to try and interview it too. Oh my goodness. Speaking of people who just get it wrong, Joe Rogan.
I don't know him personally.
I mean,
but I have seen. I have seen him. Right. That's the UFC guy, right?
Right. That's the UFC guy. Used to host Fear Factor or whatnot. So he's got a pot.
Yeah, when he was skinny.
Right. Okay.
I liked him on Fear Factor.
Right. Then he got his own podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, and
that's what happens. You give somebody a platform.
Yeah, and he's misusing it. Yeah. So he was on recently. So I don't know if you know, but he reeks of far rightism lately. So
racism?
Huh? Yeah. So those conspiracy theories and all that good stuff that they all jump on nowadays. So sure enough, Rogan is on his podcast, the Joe Rogan Experience, and he's talking about a proposed Australian law.
I want to find out what this is, but I read something briefly and I didn't get into the article. But they were saying that they were trying to pass a bill that would outlaw you growing your own food in Australia.
Oh, my God.
Did you read that?
No.
It was a part of Australia. I think it was New South Wales. Someone was trying to pass a law that won't allow you to grow your own food. Oh, and they were saying, well, you could grow your own food, and what if the disease is from your food? It infects the population, kills us all.
Oh,
we can't have that.
Oh, they pulled that card.
I want to know what their justification was, but I'm pretty sure it happened.
So the problem with that is, and then he went on for a few minutes about this. The problem that he took and ran with that baton. Yeah, that story came from a Facebook post that then somebody wrote on their blog about it, and then it became a story on Twitter. Totally fake. And this happened on May 12th. A politician in Australia, Daniel Andrews, Rogan sprung from a Facebook post by Daniel Andrews, an Australian politician. But the moral of the story there is fact check. There's one, and speaking of things that get white people riled up, did you hear about do you know who Doctor Who is?
Doctor Who?
Doctor Who, the Time Lord.
No.
Okay.
Is he real?
Oh, that's because I went to school at Mansfield. You
Yeah,
know,
pretty much.
yeah. Man, Doctor Who.
Oh, that show that used to come on PBS.
Thank you.
Guess what? Never watched it.
Oh, boo. I wish I had a boo drop ready for you.
never watched that.
Oh, there's been many incarnations of Doctor Who, but now there is the new Doctor Who.
Is black.
Yes, sir.
We're not racist. Watch.
Black is black and get. That is
With blonde hair.
yeah.
That's racist.
You had to do that just to get in. Hey.
That's racist right there. Why your hair don't grow out your head like that?
That is Nkuti Gatwa. He's a 29-year-old from Rwanda, and
Right.
he's best known for starring in. They're giving reparations to Rwanda and being diverse all in the same package fee. He's a 29-year-old from Rwanda, and he's known for starring in Netflix's sitcom Sex Education. He's going to become the 14th Doctor Who, and he's going to debut in 2023.
Yeah, whatever.
At the BAFTA Awards, said Gatwa at the BAFTA Awards, Doctor Who means a lot to so many people, including myself. I feel grateful to have had the baton handed over, and I'm going to do my best.
Whatever. I'm just mad that he has blonde hair.
You mad about that? He got the Cisco look.
Absolutely. Keep your hair black.
Hold on,
Your
listen.
mustache is black. If
Right.
you're gonna dye it, dye everything. Like don't just dye the top of your head. Dye your eyebrows. Dye your mustache.
Platinum blonde, too.
Right.
Let's see if there
You want somebody to believe that it's real hair that grew out your head.
Well, there's photos of him.
Right, Jordan.
There's photos of him with dark, he's got hair closer to mine.
Right.
Black cut. I mean, black all the way around, but I shouldn't have went
picture.
with this.
That's the picture you used, though.
Right. And actually, the picture that they have on Doctor Who, well, that's for him at the BAFTA Awards, so where he made the statement.
Right.
So
Congratulations. He looked like, what was that that show by Robert Townsend back in the day? He looked like the leader of the boys. What
that's
were they
who
called?
I was. I was like,
Right.
damn it.
Right.
I couldn't think of
Robert Townsend. Yeah. What was that movie called?
The Hollywood Shuffle.
Nah, he was a superhero.
Oh, Radioactive Man.
Meteor
Man.
And he had all the... Yeah, I remember that. You remember that? No, you don't remember that.
Yeah, I remember Meteor Man. I remember the Hollywood Shuffle. Stop. Do the Jerry Curl. I remember all that stuff. People, we only talked briefly for a second about YouTube personality that died recently, the 57-year-old Kevin Samuels.
Did he really die?
Yeah, he did. He gone as far as I know.
See, and there I'm saying.
That's what all the reports I've seen. I haven't seen nothing that says
Got to fact check.
Yeah, I haven't seen nothing that contradicts it. He started off as an image consultant, and he was giving advice to men, but then he started to shift his advice and his target audience over to women. I believe that's known in circles as a Steve Harvey. You know, when you do that move, Steve Harvey pulled that off quite well.
What?
Think like a man, act like a woman.
Think like a man, act like a woman.
The advice book too. Yeah, that advice book for women that Steve Harvey wrote.
Oh yeah, think like a man, act like a man.
Think like a man, act like a woman. So act like a lady.
How can you tell somebody to act like something that you aren't?
Thank you. That's exactly when I read the title I was saying. This guy stirred up a lot of controversy, but I would be amazed when I would hear a dude that's a grandfather of multiple females, and he'd be like, "Oh man, Darren, you gotta hear this guy. He's all right." I'm like, and then when I heard him, I was like, all right. But then as I was listening to him, I was like, wait a second, this guy, what he's doing is, which way? Sticks his finger in his mouth, test the wind, which way it's going, and then he shifts to the opposite. That's a move known in broadcasting as the Skip Bayless. So I give respect to this gentleman here. He made a nice little change for himself. And we'll be talking about him for a few years after his supposed death. It's yet to be verified.
Listen, they ain't had a funeral for him. Like, they ain't brought his body out. None of that. He been dead for a week now.
Right, he gonna come back. Don't call it a comeback.
I've been here for years. But nah, have you ever heard anything about him? Right?
No, since
funeral,
all I keep
nothing.
hearing is the death. That's all that reported death.
And supposedly he died
multiple
having
outlets.
sex.
Well, if you're gonna go,
That's the way
there
to
are
go.
worse ways to go.
Much worse ways.
We've talked about it on this show multiple times, and actually, we got a bad way to go later on in the third block too. But speaking of getting some booty, P, did you hear about Oklahoma's newest
Getting some what?
getting some booty? You said that Samuels was having sex when he passed away, or reportedly, rumoredly, whatever, having sex.
I don't
when
like this cowboy.
So
Go ahead.
Oklahoma, that's junior college transfer for Oklahoma. He's for Oklahoma University of Oklahoma signed him. He led the NG National Junior College Association in passing yards with 3,400 and over 3,400 and touchdown passes with 27. Oh, his name, by the way, is that General Booty. Yes, you heard
General?
His first name General, last name Booty. Booty. Yes. P is picking up the phone right now.
I'm not picking up the phone. I'm not doing anything.
I thought you were.
No, I'm good. I'm good. This is their starting quarterback.
Yeah.
I can just imagine if he makes it to the NFL. General Booty.
He'd have never made it through middle school with the crew that we were back in. Wait, what's this? We'd have heard that the first day of school. Wait, what? Which one? Who's that?
General Booty.
Oh, I can't wait till recess. We're going to roast you. Recess? Hell, we doing it math. I don't like math anyway. We doing it.
General Booty knows the question.
Right. Exactly.
He knows the answer.
Oh, my goodness. But that brings us to the end of our first block of the D Train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net. Don't forget, if you miss any of CMP Radio's content, you can catch up on it on the YouTube or Facebook page of CMPRadio.net. I'm going to do that next week because P often gets on me because we're here on holidays a lot of times. And P gets on like, you never take holidays off. From all my years waiting tables, holidays were your money day. We was here on Mother's Day. That was a day. Mother's Day, shoot. That was a day I was trying to pay 2 bills and get rent today. All right, so I'm just used to working on holidays. But we're going to take next week. Next weekend is Memorial Day weekend, correct?
Yes, it is.
All right, so we're going to take next weekend off. But that brings us to the end of our first block. You're on the D Train with Darren DeVoue on CMPRadio.net. It's the voice of Chester.
We are not going to intentionally destroy one of our own trains, not when we can still stop it.
We are not ramping down. We're just getting started. Nothing stops this train. Nothing.